All right, enough of all the confusion and babbling you guys are doing over here, man. Check this out, bro. The reason why the world split between two hemispheres, who decided which hemisphere is where the world is split at? Huh? We split the world on the Atlantic Ocean between the two hemispheres. Why not the Pacific? I guess it is. Also, split in the Pacific. As on one side, so to the other. And as above, so below. Because that's the rules of the God of this world. Alright, the God of this world being El Saturn, El Satan. Okay, El Nino, son of Satan, El Niña, La Niña. Okay, why is that in the Western Hemisphere? Because in the Western Hemisphere is known as Americas, plural. Americas, plural. But it's singular. Because the Americas, the name America comes from the word Amaruca, which means the land of the great plumed serpent that breathes the power over the life of the air. Or the land of the great plumed serpent, or the great feathered serpent that breathes the power over the life of the air, which is pretty much Satan. Okay, Lucifer, Atlantis, Aleutian, alliances, legion. It's legion and the fallen angels. Satan is their archangel. Okay, he is their ark. He carries them on his wings. He is an ark. This is a left wing, this is a right wing, and this is his head with his face and his eyes and his nostrils and his neck chained up, okay? And he's wrapped all around the world. This is his head up here. All you're looking at is just the opposite side of his head. This is the top of his head where you see his nose, and this is the bottom of his head where you see his chin sticking out right there. That is the spot right there. That arc angle, yeah, that's him right there. That great arc. This, see how it all arcs right there? And then you go, it's called Antarctic. Okay, but he's an archangel. Okay, so also another reason, ark. Why do we say Noah's ark? Why do we say ark? Ark of the covenant. Why do we say an ark? Well, there are two on this earth. There is Orion, and then there is Satan. Okay, the dragon, Draco, Orion and Draco. Let's say that. Orion is a constellation, right? In the sky, right? Draco is a constellation in the sky, right? Okay, well, you also have Ophiuchus, which is a serpent wrapped around a wrestler who is wrestling with the serpent. Well, Earth is the Ophiuchus. This is the character that's wrestling, the wrestler right here. He's the wrestler. Right hand, left hand, right paw, left paw. It's a bear. It's a gorilla. It's King Kong. And then the serpent wrapped around him is your Godzilla, the god of this world. Okay? And he's an archangel he carries other smaller angels on him. Okay. And then you have Orion. Why does Orion have a belt? Well, why does the United States have a Bible belt? Huh? Exactly. Bible belt. Isaiah 35 goes I-35 right up the Mississippi. Okay. To the east of the Mississippi is I-35. I mean, to the west of the Mississippi is I-35. And the Mason-Dixon line, you have Mason-Dixon, MD. It's funny that the capital county is Maryland, MD. MD is something serious. You guys gotta pay attention when they say some stuff like MD. All right, you gotta pay close attention. All right, here. Let me play something real quick, so my speaker doesn't turn off real quick. I'm gonna just push play on something, just for a second.
Salute to everybody out there.
All right, that's salute to everybody out there. There you go. Good job. All right, let's go back over here. So Orion's belt, Ophiuchus. He has a snake wrapped around him, coiling like a belt. What you don't see is this one has a spiritual snake wrapped around him. There's a snake in this, as in heaven, so it is on earth. Well, aren't the stars wrapped around the constellations wrapped around the earth? Right? Huh? Okay. All right, like fascists. Look, even the fascists have the belt around the sticks. What do the sticks represent? Upright. Okay. What does the behemoth represent? Upright. That's what Orion represents. Upright. Okay. Now, you have Orion. Why I say Orion? Okay, because how did I get Orion? Okay, let's finish up with the Ark, and then we'll finish up. We'll do Orion, because if you've been watching my channel, already know that the behemoth and the Leviathan is what the Earth is in confusion of. Babylon. Okay, Leviathan and behemoth, Babylon. You can't put them together like that. It's not supposed to be. That's how you have your confused languages. This is not the Jungle Book, okay? So, but it technically, really, that's the story. Literally, Baloo is the behemoth, and Ka is the dragon. It's Ophiuchus, okay? So, let's go over here. We're getting on the Ark. The celestial body is an ark. Okay, so you're talking about you're gonna land on the moon. That's an ark. Okay, how do you get there? An ark to an ark. Okay, so it's like you're a host to parasites inside of your body or bacteria, things that live off of you, symbiotes. You are an ark. Okay, you're a host. You're a vessel. You understand that? Okay. So, if the archangels had to go through it, what makes you think you will be spared? That's all you need to freaking remember when I'm telling you the truth about this. Okay? Freaking remember that. Put that in your head. If the Most High did not spare the archangels, what makes you think he's going to spare your ungrateful ass? Okay? Okay? Because right now you're walking on top of archangels, especially if you're in the Southern America's hemisphere. You're standing on top of Satan. Especially if you're in the northeastern hemisphere, you're standing on top of Satan. Shit. All right? That's what you don't. That's his as above, so below symbology. Even the dollar sign, it's a pole. It's an upright with a serpent wrapped around it. That's called dollar and peso. Okay? dollar and peso. Okay? So look, man, let me tell you something. For those that don't know, that have not been watching my channel, the earth is not round like this. What you see, there's double for what you see. So everything you see, there's a copy of that. This is a copy of that, as a matter of fact. What you see is a copy of something that you don't see. See, I'll show you something. I'll do this. We'll put on the animated clouds. So you see how the clouds are above the world and they wrap around it? Okay. So the world is kind of programmed by forces above. Okay? So the reason why the world looks the way it does on the ground is because of the forces above. So take for instance, if the wind wanted, it could blow all the water onto the surface of the earth and cover the earth. Period. That's it. So yeah, now the earth, the way you guys think, that from your scientific perspective, yes, the wind can blow the water off over the surface of the earth and flood it continuously, and you won't see any brown. You'll just see blue, big deep blue sea all over the place. All right, water world. Okay, so the forces above, the invisibles, control. You are at the mercy of the breath that comes out of the mouth of the creation above. Who creates it above? Okay, we're talking about astronomical proportions of wind, by the way. Astronomical. When you look at the sun burping out its solar wind, you think that's something. I tell you, it's I'm not gonna say insignificant, but it is it's quantum in comparison to what I have witnessed in the temple that the Most High has given me to see. All the stars, which are suns, when they move at the same time, oh, there's wind. You say there's no air in space. Oh, there, the shit. You're going. You're going. You're nothing's going in opposite direction. Trust me. You're going with the wind. Gone with the wind. Gone with the breath. Gone with the word. Period. It's not going to be physically, but it's going to be meticulously, very detailed, beaming you up. Remember like Star Trek, how they just dissolve right there in the light? Yep. Just like that, without a shadow of a doubt. When I say without a shadow of a doubt, because the Most High said without a shadow of a doubt, because it is true. Without a shadow of a doubt. There won't be a shadow, even behind your eyelids, in the deepest parts of your body. There won't be a shadow. There's nowhere for you to hide when that wind comes, when that breath comes, when that word comes, when Yahshua returns. I'm telling you. So, and all the stars, all in heaven. The stars are in heaven, right? All the celestial body, every head shall bow, every knee shall bend. Yep. Everything. You're going to fold. It's all in and fold. It's the way it is. As in the beginning, so too shall be in the end. The book is closed. He's going to fold you and close the book. It is done. All right? That's all you need to know. So all the stuff you've done seen that they done put in your face to fearmonger you and let you know what this and that and that and this. If it ain't exactly what I just told you, you in for a rude awakening. A very rude awakening. And like I said, I already done told you. This is just, that's, man, that's to come. But the stuff that we seeing right here on the earth, that's already here. You're already in this. So Let's bring you back down to earth. All right. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer. What you think she mean by that? Okay. Because you don't know what time is. Time out there and time over here is different. When it's done, it's already done, but you still seeing it happen. See, that's the point. All right. There will be a breakthrough. So pretty much the spirit above, which there for every, like I said, for everything that you see on the earth, there's a double above it. And it's not a double. What you see on the earth is the double of what is above, because what is above is the truth, and what is on the earth is a lie. Like lying down, like what's under your feet, what lies under your feet, that is what you call the earth. That's what you see, right? Yeah, okay. So lies. Okay? Lies. The flesh cannot express completely the full abundance of the spirit. He said, my spirit shall not contend with man, for he is but flesh. My spirit shall not contend with man forever, because he is flesh. The spirit is forever. Flesh is not. The earth is not. Okay? So, I'm letting you know what you see here. You're on a decaying corpse, but the living spirit is above. Still watering life on that decaying corpse. You call a garden, earth, fighting over it, fighting over death, dying, wasting the precious life you have to sacrifice others for death. It's crazy. It don't even make sense, man. Don't even make sense. But okay, so you got your archangels here, man. All right, this is an archangel right here in North America. All right, this is the four-legged behemoth, and then up under him is the dragon. And I shouldn't say up under, all around him. He's got him boxed in. Boxing ring. Every sport kind of represents what the truth is going on, all right? Like how everything is mocking you to your face. Like how the track is oval, like the rings of Saturn, you see? All right? And it wraps around the gridiron, the field, the grass, the earth. Okay? Where you get the berserkers, the bears, you know. And the most common mascot I done seen in North America is bears, some type of four-legged animal. Bears, lions, and tigers, oh my. But these serpents, totally owned, like for some reason, or we're calling this land serpent shit. Like America is a serpent name. It's not a behemoth name. It's a Leviathan name, not a behemoth thing. Like lava and love, even the English language is in homage, is a child of the dragon. It's a lie. It's a law. A law, a lie, allegiance, alliance. It is legion. It's the religion of the dragon. That's the English language. So that's the confusion part. That's the Babylon. The language is deception. But with the truth shedding light, all things have a spirit. So the truth is the word, and the word can set you free. Make you free, my bad. Will make you free, because the word is the truth that sheds light on the darkness of what you did not know when you just look up a word. So let's get to that. All right, so you got How many hemispheres? You got 4. You got a east, you got a west, you got a north, you got a south. So the western hemisphere where we're over here speaking English, American, whatever like that you want to call that, Creole and all that mess. The language we speaking over here, western hemisphere, Americas, they call that. You be like, hold on. You're calling the whole West the Americas. And I had a problem with that and I still got a problem with that. I was like, how come all these other continents got different names, but then you just straight up put all 3 of these continents as just one name, Americas? So I was like, all right. So I held my peace for long enough because I did not know enough. But now, since I put those childish ways away, I went to go seek out the truth, and I found it to give it to you today. So here we go. What you got is, the Eastern Hemisphere is called the Orient. If the West is called the Americas, then there would have to be an equal and opposite name. Like I said, for everything you see and that you can see, there's a double. There's something on the opposite, above it, and probably even below that you don't see. Okay? I shouldn't say below, but within. Okay? That you don't see. That's even crazier. Like Russian doll type stuff. Different dimensions type stuff. Okay? Exponentially. Okay? So what we have is like the astro to quantum. Okay? So it's the opposite, the exact opposite. But we're talking about the same subject. So that is the same, that is within that field. Well, on this, we have the Eastern Hemisphere is called the Oriental Hemisphere. They were saying, oh, we'll call it the what do you call it? The European, Europa, Asia, Afro Europa, A and E. So I was like, okay, I understand why that symbol goes so hard now these days, A and E, because it's Afro-European or Europa as opposed to the Americas. So I was like, I wasn't settling for that Afro-Europa stuff. I wasn't settling. Oh yeah. So we have, like, I gotta get back and finish up that arc because it's telling me right now. The reason why we call them archangels, they are watchers, right? The angels were known as watchers, right? Okay, well, North America, another reason that you know that it is the behemoth, it is the bear, it is King Kong out of the Godzilla, is because it's Orion, okay? It's Arcturus, okay? What is Arcturus? Well, the north is called Arctic, and the south is called Antarctic, meaning the opposite, the exact opposite. The North Pole, the South Pole, the exact opposite. The East Hemisphere, the West Hemisphere, the exact opposite, okay? The yin and the yang, the exact opposite. With a little bit of this and a little bit of that from each one and each, all right? Russian doll shit. All right, so what we have is, in the north, you call it the Arctic. Arctic stands for the bear. More so a she bear, if I'm not mistaken. Ursa, USA, Russia, Ursa, USA, Ursa. These are bear names. The bare earth. Okay, and it's in the north. All right. So what you have is an arc is a Arcturus. Arc was the watcher, and Taurus was the cattle. Taurus was the bear. Ursa, Ursa. Arctic, Ursa. Anyway, let's get over here and I'll show you. Just show you real quick. I'm kind of tripping over the words. Okay, we'll go back to this Orient. Arctic. I didn't. All right. Arctic, of or pertaining to the North Pole of the heavens. Of the heavens? Heavens? What is the heavens? That's not on earth. That's above the earth, right? Okay. So if it's above the earth, heavens, Arctic, you're talking about star constellations. Arcturus, a star in the sky. Ursa, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. Okay, right there where Arcturus is. Okay, at the tail of the Big Dipper. Okay, Arctic, of or pertaining to the North Pole of the heavens of Old French Arctique, directly medieval Arctus, Latin Arcticus, Greek Arcticos, of the north, literally of the constellation Bear, from Arctos, bear. Also Ursa Major, the north region, the region of the north. So Ursa sounded like USA and Arctic sounded like the North Pole. Arctic, North Pole, right there in conjunction, the same way that it's written in the definition of the single word Arctic. You got, so this would be the Arctic, my bad, where the North Pole at? All right, so this would be the Arctic up here, Arctic Circle, the Arctic, the North. And then the bear, Ursa, USA, the bear. They try to say Russia also, or USR. Ursa, you see what I mean? USA, USA. But not only that, what do we have here? If Yeshaya was known as the lion and the lamb, the lion of Judah, lion of the tribe of Judah, and the lamb of Yah. Okay, well, check this out. Those are behemoths. Yes, though they are beasts, those are behemoths. Okay? So, behemoths, meaning they would have been in the class for Michael. If I'm not mistaken, Michael was the angel that stopped Balaam from smacking the donkey or something like that, because he was like, yo, that donkey is my servant. You know what I mean? These, like, if Satan represents the Leviathan and he's a fallen angel, right? Then what does the behemoth represent? If they can't even be in the same realm with each other. Okay, the behemoth will represent Michael, Mikahiah, a watcher over mankind. One who is like Yah. Why? Because he is upright. You can't be like Yah, one who is like Yah, Mikahiah, without being upright. The behemoth is the upright. That's why you have the upright pole with the snake wrapped around it for your dollar symbol, for your fascist symbol, for your Ophiuchus, for your Orion's belt, all this stuff. It's symbolic. Okay? Okay. Even a ball is upright. Ball. You know how you got your statue of Ball? What is he always doing? He's always sitting upright. Okay? So, and even your Hindus, they got the Shiva she's standing upright, though she's dancing with all these damn arms and different stuff posing, but she's got a circle around her that's flaming. That circle that's flaming is the dragon. It's a behemoth because the four-leggeds are the behemoths, and the serpent that wraps around her is the Leviathan. Okay. Was it Shiva or Vishnu? My bad. My bad. I'm gonna go look at that real quick. But hold on. The reason why I said we looked up Orient earlier. Let me go over here. Let me put Shiva. Bam. CERN statue. Shiva. So this wrapped around her is the Leviathan. She got more than 4 legs. So she is the child of the serpent. 6 fingers, 6 limbs, all that type of stuff. You understand that? 666. Okay. All right. So now that you see that, all right, because they're dressed as angels of light, you know, stuff like that, standing on top of the serpent, this and that. Come on now, riding on the dragon. Oh wow, I never thought about that until just that moment. Damn. What's her crown? Because Shiva does go with 7. Oh shit. 7 hills, 7 crown. Oh my goodness. Yep. She's got the serpent on her forehead. That's the serpent right there. But it's also that's also supposed to represent that 7-headed serpent. Wow. Yeah, that's what's on her head. Same way that they got it behind him, like it's over his head, Buddha right there. Yeah, it's the same way. See, the reason why they got 7 heads right there, 7 heads, but also 7 horns will represent the 7 heads, right? So this is what's in the back of Shiva right there. Boom. That's the 7 heads, 7 fingers, 7 hands, 7 heads. All right. But then you would have right here, these are the 7 hills right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why is it 7 on 7 heads of the dragon, of the serpent? 7 heads of the serpent. All right, you understand? All right, there you go. That's why it's like that. It's supposed to represent those 7 horns out of the mouth of the serpent. Oh, so she's coming out of the mouth of the serpent. Okay, I get that. I get that. It's kind of the same way as he is. This behemoth right here. Like I said, there's imitation stuff going on. There's counterfeits of things that are going on, and in those counterfeits, they would blaspheme in a sort of a way. In those counterfeits, they would, how would you say, take good for bad and bad for good. They would just reverse things and flip things upside down. They would make mockeries of things, like as if you have, when you say Jesus on a cross, they would make up their own type of little stuff with crosses and stuff like that to mock that. All right. So with this behemoth fighting with this Leviathan, they're showing something that is upright with Shiva. They're showing Shiva being upright, which is like a behemoth, but she's got 6 arms. That's the problem. You're not supposed to be having those 6 arms. That's not a behemoth. That is a that's what do you call it? That's either an angel or a Nephilim. It's definitely, yeah, that's not human. That's not behemoth. Even the behemoth, like from what I understand, got 4 arms, 4 legs. We're raised beside the behemoth in the what do you say, in the fields with the behemoth, in the upright, as uprights, you know what I mean? So the serpent lying down on it, crawling around on its belly and all this stuff, that's crazy, bro. This is crazy. Because now I'm thinking about belly dancing and all this mess. It makes me want Bali and belly. Okay, so And Li means dragon. Ball. They're putting ball together with Li. Li is dragon. Ball is behemoth. They putting them together. It's just like Baph and Math. Put them together. You have Baphomet, which is male and female. Bath is female and Moth is man. Put them together, you got Baphomet. So, like, you see what I mean? Like, I understand how they put these combinations of words together in order to give you that desired effect to confuse and to misuse in order to harvest the loose, harvest your soul, making you give energy in the wrong direction. It's like stepping out in front of a train, you know what I mean? And you really just like step out in front of the train and get wiped out. Like, that's just pretty much just getting thrown under the bus. That's literally what it is. That's literally the English language. It's just a thrown under the bus language. Especially when it comes to interpreting other languages. You start to realize that our language is rooted in throwing under the bus. All right. So now that we have explained that, let's get back over here, because the arcs of the watchers, right? So you had an archangel, which would be the north. You have that's your behemoth, that's your Michael, that's your Arcturus, that's your constellation, that's your all that stuff. Even that, if you ask me, has more so to do. Maybe not, because I wanna go look something up real quick before we go there, because I only got to 2 hemispheres. I think we're covering 4, but so far in this mission I've only looked them up as 2 hemispheres. The north is called the Arctic, but I don't know if that's what they're gonna call it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And the south is called the Antarctic, but I don't know if that's what they're gonna call it. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm gonna look that up just to cover our butts to make sure that we're on the right track here. So, and the O wraps around. See, that's Orion's belt. Orion's only famous because of his belt, which is okay. It wraps around him. It's the O. I don't know, man. So like, it's the graceful light. There's something's going on there. In the Orient, the direction east part of the horizon, in the Orient, part of the Orient, where the sun first appears, also known as with capital O, the eastern regions of the world. Eastern countries, originally vaguely meaning the region south, east and south of Europe. What is now called the Middle East, but also sometimes Egypt and India, from Old Orient East, the Latin Orientum, nominative Oriens. You know when you're saying Orient over here in English? Orion. Orion. Orions. Orions. Yeah. There you go. Okay, hold on. The rising sun, the east, the part of the sky where the sun rises, originally rising. Orion, rising. Present participle of oriri, to rise. Origin. Where did it rise from? You see what I'm saying? So here we go. We're doing this. Meaning a pearl of the first water, which is what? Origin. Short for pearl of the Orient. Originally meaning one of the Indian seas. Oh, Yonya. Yeah. Okay. Even India was called Yonya. That's why the end of it is Yan. After the IND. Yanya, my bad, not Yonya, Yanya. But it be Yonya, Yanya, same thing. Hence, also the meaning, a delicate iridescent, the peculiar luster of a fine pearl, the Orient Express. I think that's talking about jewels and stuff. Something else is, something's skipping right there. I think something's skipping right there. That's not even supposed to be there. Oriental, of the Orient, from the East, Oriental, Eastern, East, directly from Latin. These are 14th century, 12th century Latin, Orientalis, of or belonging to the East, Orientum, Orient, originally. You see how they just throw words next to each other, like I said, all you have to do is listen to what the Spirit is saying and see how, what do you call it, how the synchronicities and the cues go off, the cues go off, signals go off, like sounds and chimes and rhymes, you know what I mean, to confirm what you are currently, what the needle is really projecting out of the record. You know what I mean? So you got to listen to how they're putting this. It says, listen to this onomatopoeia over here. And directly from Latin, Orientalis, or belonging to the East. Now, East means Orient or Orions, from Orientum of Orient, originally in reference to the sky. Originally in reference to the sky. Where is Orion? Where is Arcturus? Okay. Maybe they're, but yeah. They're in the sky. That's the point. All right. Geographical sense, often with capital O, tested from Oriental carpet, superior lake quality, blah, blah, blah. Native or inhabitant of the East, 1701, from Orient, probably a new use. Middle English had Oriental, a native of the Orient, also a resident of eastern parts of England. So look, the point of this is that the East is called Orion, because the root of the word Orient in Oriental is Orion. If you can't see that, see, that's when I try to tell you guys. I said, so on earth it's Orion, but in heaven it's Orion. It's not even called Orion. Literally, there's no Orion. None of that. It's Yon. Yon is from the East. Yon, the beginning. When you rise up, you yawn. The grace. John, grace. Johannes, grace. Enoch, Konok, Khan. Cain, Cain, Khan. It's grace. It's all grace. So the beginning is the grace. What we call today Greece. In the East. The gateway to the East. Greece, right there. Boom. Boom. Where'd you get all your knowledge from the East from? Greece. Right there. Grace. What's the sea to the west of Greece? Ionia. The whole land to the east of Ionia was called Ionia. Like Orion, or Orion, my bad, Urion. Let's be more expressive here. O would be Ur, okay, and that means light. And Yon means grace. IAN, ION, CON, KHAN, Con, Q K-A-Y-I-N. Cayenne, Cain, K-A-N-E. It all means grace. So, graceful light, or the light of grace. Why is there fire coming out of Greece? What do you call that? The torch? They run it all the way around the world? Did they actually run that thing a complete circle around the world? I may want to look that up, because that would be probably just like you see the flames wrapping around Shiva as a serpent. That probably might have something to do with that, because we already know that the Olympic track is wrapped around with the O, or an oval, oval, okay, over ball, around ball, oval, okay. So that's the serpent that we already established. That's like the rings around Saturn, and the ball is upright no matter how you roll it. It's upright. It don't lay down flat. You understand? But that ring lays down flat unless wrapped tightly around that ball, fixed. You understand? Like a belt wraps around Orion, or Yan. Okay. Yeah, that's what they're symbolizing, and it all goes back to Satan, Saturn, and the Leviathan. That's a Leviathan type of a ritual of doing that. Because the Olympics is directly representation for Zeus, or at least he claims the fame. He claimed the people that we get our history from say that the Olympics is a dedication to Zeus. Okay, so pretty much that's Satan. All right, Saturn, Satan, whatever you want to call it. All right, it's beast system, beast worship. All right, worship nothing in heaven nor on earth. All right, only the word. The word gives you the truth. All right, so where was I at? All right, so we're gonna look up to make sure what the northern hemisphere is called. Actually, the northern hemisphere is called boom. Gonna look this up. See what the AI says. Northern hemisphere is often referred to as the land hemisphere because it contains a significant portion of Earth's land. Earth's land. You got Earth, you got land, you got planet. What are we really doing here? You understand me? Okay, Earth's land area compared to the southern hemisphere, it includes all of North America and Europe, as well as parts of Asia and Africa. Okay, so if you have Orion in the west, and I think that's all reversed anyway. I think this is all flipped backwards anyway. I would say America, and like even our east and west and all that mess is all backwards. I think everything is like obviously the same way that they did the language when you went from right to left, and now you're going from left to right. You know what I mean? You got the dragon down there, we supposedly down there, but now you got the world as magnetic poles shifting and the world's flipping. You know, and we know that would be the dragon. You know what I mean? Because the pole don't flip. The pole is upright. That pole flip is literally freaking dragon talk. All right. And it would probably be from wrestling with the Bohemian. It's probably what we're looking at here. The definition of the northern hemisphere is the half. Okay, so we established it. It's called as the land hemisphere. Let's look at land real quick. Go back and look at land and see what they're talking. Where do we get this word land from? Oh, London. Okay, here we go. Land. Huh. Land. Ground, soil, solid substance of the earth's surface, also definite portion of the earth's surface, home region of a person or a people, territory marked by political boundaries. No, man, where is the date that you gave the definition of the word land? Boken finds the IE something English etymology and suspects a substratum word in Germanic. Watkins suggested a reconstruction pi land source also of the Irish land, Middle Welsh lawn, and open space. Enclosure, lawn, and enclosure, a body, a church. A church is a body, my bad. Brenton lawn, heath, or heath. The heck is a heath? Source of French lawn, Old Church Slavonic, Ladina, wasteland, heath, Czechoslovakia, Lada, fallow, land, fall, low, land. Etymological evidence and Gothic use indicates the original Germanic sense was a definite portion of the earth's surface owned by an individual or home of a nation. Meaning was early extended to the solid surface of the earth as a sense which one had belonged to the ancestor of modern English, earth. Original sense of land in English now tend to go with country. In American English, exclamation land's sakes, land is a euphemism for lord. Land is a verb. London, come ashore from a ship. Put someone ashore from land. On English, Linden, so, okay, to bring to land. Transitive, early from the source of land. 13th century, from land as a noun. And we just went over land as a noun. The intransitive sense of to come to shore, to go ashore, to disembark, to attest. Oh, I know what it is. Ha! I got it. One thing you're missing when you look at this earth is the giant trees. So that's why you don't understand the word land. All right, so in the beginning, there were the birds of the heavens. Where did they? Exactly. 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 That was what, that is the original sense was before man And before beast walked, there were the fish in the sea and the birds of the heaven. If I'm not mistaken, it was from the top down. It was the heavens and the birds of heaven, and then the fish in the sea, and then the cows and stuff on the land. If I'm not mistaken, let's go and double check this with 54 minutes and 54 seconds left on the clock. That has gone away on the clock. We got to go to Genesis. Bam. Genesis 1. Earth and the heavens created in the beginning, Yah. The face was over the face. Darkness was over the face. Okay. And the earth was formless and void, because it's right to left. And the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yah was hovering over the face of the waters. Okay? And said, Yah, let there be light. There was light. What was light? Or. Like Orion. Oh. Orion. Let there be light. Genesis 1:3. Orion. Let that be. Alright. And saw Yah that Ha-or, the light, Orion, that it was good, and divided Yah between the light and between the darkness. Okay. First day. Firmament, divide the waters. And it was so. And he called Yah the firmament the sky. The sky was the firmament that divided the waters. So where did the birds live? In the creation of the firmament. Where would they don't just sit around and fly forever, do they? No. They had to land that, yeah. And there was evening and there was morning and the second day. Okay. Said Yah, let there be gathered the waters underneath the heavens into a place, and let it appear the dry land. Okay. And it was so. Okay. So there's the land, Genesis 1:9, and called Yah the dry land earth. Aries. Eretz. Earth. Aries. Eretz. Earth. Aries. Yes, Aries. Like an angel. Even the sky is an angel. Okay. And the collection, earth and the collection of the waters, he called seas. Yamim. Yam. And he saw, Yah, that it was good. Okay. What comes first? Okay. So he created the land, a place for the birds, before he created the birds. Because right here, he's bringing forth grass and tree. Tree is where the birds, without the land, there is no tree. Well, I can't say that. The land was a lotus. So, like, the behemoth and the Leviathan also represent plants. The Leviathan, 100% without a shadow of a doubt, is the lotus flower. It is a lotus. Period. A lotus that wraps around the earth. I never thought to check of an image of a bear with a lotus. I might want to check on that. Take that as a note. All right, we have 59 minutes and 35 seconds. I gotta get out of here. Rain for the grass and fields of the earth. Trees, good. Evening, morning, good. Divide the day. There's more Orion there because of the lights were the luminaries and the stars. And shine upon the firmament in the heaven. And they rule over the night and the day. Said, let abound the waters with abundance of living creatures, living and birds let fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the sky. Okay. Yeah. This is interesting. The stars are the serpents. The firmament just might be an angel itself. It's an archangel because it holds the stars like an arc. Wow. Everything is an archangel. This is wild. All right, I'm gonna have to. I've never thought of it like this. But yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this off because I'm 1 minute in over the limit of an hour. So I'm gonna have to modify this video to speed it up so I can fit it on TikTok. But yes, there will be a part 2 and I will round up and finish this off. Thank you very much for tuning in. All right, so yeah, we're gonna finish up on this. So we made it as far as the northern hemisphere. We're gonna cap that, and then we're gonna go ahead and get on the southern hemisphere on the next episode. All right, you guys stay tuned.